Yunus. He's actually quite good. He's quite a good analyzer of Elliott waves. I think he's from France. And this is his count. I like it. I like his count. Okay. People have different ways of doing things, yeah, and I like to see how different people do it. I'm not going to kind of replicate it, or maybe because it's going to take some time, and I don't want to really spend too much time today. But if you want it, it's there. So if you want to have a look at his Elliott waves, you can go and have a look. I'll post it here in the live chat. You can go and have a look at it. I think he's quite good. Yeah, he's got really good analysis of the waves. He breaks it down, and he's got a YouTube as well. So you can go and watch it. I haven't watched his YouTube. I just looked at his X post. So let's just kind of have a look at it actually quickly. I can copy and paste it. Oh, where is it? It's too big, huh? Image is too large. Shit. I hate it when it does that. Why is that too large? Right, let me do it like this. He's using the 3-day time frame. So I'll go to the 3-day time frame. So he's taken the waves all the way back from the beginning here. See that? And what chart is he using? He's using the same as me, the inverse perpetuals. So he's got the wave, he's got it starting here, hasn't he? Look, kind of when I said this is where the wave one began. So I think we're on the same track, to be honest with you. I haven't kind of looked at his analysis per se before. I just saw it and I thought it'd be worth having a look. Let's just kind of have a look at his analysis and mine. It's always good to look at other people's because you can see if you're right or wrong. Yep, the one, we've got the same one. So he's got the 4 ending slightly differently, which is fine. I always say it doesn't really matter, but actually he's probably, just looking at his, he's doing it based on this green impulsive candle here. So he's got the 1 there. A little 1 there. That means he's got the 2 coming to here, which will change his fib extensions. I could use that actually. I won't change mine for yet, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to the top. That's correct. 5. So we've got that ending correctly. And we've got these pretty much, so basically we've got pretty much the same. There's a slight off. This is slightly off. This is slightly subjective, but I'll have a look at his as well. And then he's got this one here. This is the 4 that we were in and just completed. Some people have it to this low, pivot low. I always thought it was here, and he's got the same thing here. See that? That's quite interesting. And then he's got an ABC, A, B, C. So his ABC is like this. He's got like an ABC like that. ABC like that. And an ABC like that. That's how he's done it. That would give you a WXY. Like that, which I like. I like that. I always do this a lot. I do ABCs and I do a WXY, and it creates this kind of diamond shape, which is quite symmetrical in some ways. So I like that. In this case, it's a you can see it, can't you? It's like that, isn't it? So it's a very nice pattern that forms in these corrective moves, and it's always the same. It's, well, not always, but it's usually always the same. So that's quite a nice shape that's formed there. And now we've got the impulse. He started counting it like this. I haven't really been counting these wave impulses, to be honest with you. So let me just zoom in a bit. I'm just bullish until the moon. Oh, it's interesting. I got this 618 and we've kind of front run it, haven't we? There, look. Where did I get that one from? Oh, so look, see that from the pivot there to the 5 to the 4? That would mean that he hasn't used the pivot here. He's used the start point there. Let me have a look at his start point too. His start point was there, which gives you 100k, which gave you the first, it gives you the first touch, and now we've gone to the actual pivot. So you could argue they're both correct, but I actually don't mind his idea of it starting here and not here, because here you see that maybe it gives you elevated targets, and I'm just looking at his higher targets. He's got 138 for the 618, and I've got the same target, 138. So he has got a 1618 off the pivot too, which is that elevated target, I think. Let's have a look at it. Oh, that's to the bottom here. So we've got the same target there. That's the 618 from the pivot start here. Does he start it at the same? No, you see, he doesn't start it at the same place. That's why we have different numbers again. He starts it actual impulse, not the actual low. So it's quite subjective here, isn't it? It's a little bit subjective. Where do you start the impulse? Do you start it from the initial drop, or do you start it from the first impulsive green candle? Personally, I prefer it from the low, because I think that's where the first impulse always begins, from a drop. So that's why I usually use, especially when it's a green one like that. Slightly subjective, probably doesn't make that much difference, but it can. In this context, I don't think it makes that much difference if I use that figure or his figure, which is slightly higher. It does make a difference. It's like 133 there. If you take it to the pivot here, it gives you 138, 618, 138. This one, if you take it to the pivot low, it gives you a different figure. Maybe because it's a red candle. It's interesting because it's still an impulse. Even if it's a liquidation event, you still have to impulse out of it, don't you? Yeah, so there is an impulse there. And usually those impulsive moves begin from a pivot low. So I'm quite interested to know why he starts it later, but I'm not here to judge him. I think he's quite a smart guy. So I like that he's got most of it. We kind of almost aligned. And I haven't actually seen this, so it's quite interesting for me. So I am wondering, so his idea was that actually came to there, which was perfectly 100, which will give a 1-to-1 there at 150, and we're at that level now. We're finding resistance. We have to flip 100 into support. I'm not convinced. I don't think 100 lines up. I think 100 is purely a psychological level, personally. I think for me this makes more sense, but we'll see. As the price continues to go up, we'll see if my fib 1618 actually starts to cause problems for the price. Yeah, the 618. And we actually, what has to happen here is that this 618 level, this 106.306 has to be flipped from a resistance to support level. Okay, I've just done it from the pivots, from the pivot low to the pivot high there to the pivot low here, when I think the waves begun. But he obviously says here the wave began slightly later. And he may be right. Okay, he may be right. We'll have to see. I think after the event it'll be a lot easier to determine. So anyway, he's got a live count going there. He's got 1, 2. So he's basically saying we're in the 3 and we've only done one. We've only done the 1 of the 3 and the 2. So if you have to kind of zoom into his candle, I haven't done this, so for me this is fresh. I'm just looking at his chart. Oh, actually no, this is all the way down there. We're up here, aren't we? So he's basically saying we've completed the 3 and we're in a 4 correction. So I have to actually go back to his page. Have a look at it. Oh, this is the one. Sorry, yeah. So I must have looked at it actually. So my bad. I must have actually looked at it, but I can't remember. No, I don't think I did. I think he posted it. I don't remember. Anyway, this is his live count. 1, 2. He's saying the 3's completed. And basically he's saying the 4's completed here. Look, see that? He's saying the 4's completed. So let's just take that. So this is what I haven't got. I haven't done this. I haven't really spent time on Elliott Waves. Mainly because there's people doing it as well. And I've got higher targets in general. I wanted to see that 618 tapped in the first instance. And it's always easy to go back and work it out. But let me just, for the sake of curiosity, let me just preempt it. Just paste that. Let me see if I did something. I might have done something. So let me just hide that higher. Let's see, wave 1. And 2, 1. That was the 1. 2. He's saying the 3's finished and we're in a 4 correction. And potentially the 4 correction's finished. So we're in the 5. And that becomes your higher time frame. But he's saying that wave finishes, huh? So that's kind of interesting. He's saying that wave finishes. And this is the last wave that completes this wave. All right. That's his view. And that he's saying it goes to the end of April as well. So that's quite interesting. So how does this impulse in 5 waves, if we're in the last wave up to the end of April? That's basically what he's suggesting. He's suggesting that the 4 is complete here. And we're in the final 5 of 5, which ends this whole 5 wave move for Bitcoin. And he's saying it's coming to the end somewhere at the end of April. So I've got the end of April in mind too, for some reason. It's always a question, does this continue? Because that could also be wave 1. You don't really know until you invalidate it. Do you know what I mean? That could end this 5 wave move. And so that's the question. So this is just speculative. That's your 5 wave move, wherever. Let's just say that was the 3 to there. And the 4 is to there. He's got the 5 going to April to there. Like that. Something like that. And we've completed the 4 here. Somehow. And now in this 5 waves, in this last wave, we have to have 5 more waves, yeah? I always appreciate that this actually becomes, this whole thing is 1 wave. And you could, if you don't invalidate this wave here by taking out the low of the start, so if the price doesn't come back to the low here, you could end up with an ABC, higher time frame ABC corrective move. And actually, that could just be wave 1 of a bigger 5 wave move. Yeah, but on a higher time frame, if you've got a deeper correction, you would expect that 5 wave move, the low, to be taken. If you win to get into a bear market, you would basically have to take out the low of that impulsive move, because you're not expecting, even though this is good solid structure, I don't think anyone's expecting that to hold the price in a bear market. I don't think so. I think in a bear market you expect the price to retrace much deeper. So only these are questions. I don't really have the answers. So based on his analysis, he thinks we're in the last wave. I'm not going to argue with him. I'm looking at this, and there are 5 waves here, aren't there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there was a ABC corrective move here, wasn't it? It's like an extended flat here. Extended flat. And so the question is, are we now in an impulsive move to continue? Okay, so possibly we are. And that will be your last wave, which will take us to higher prices. Okay, based on this idea, we can actually do some kind of fib extension targets now, assuming we've got all of these pivots correct. I'm not 100% about this pivot, to be honest with you. Let me just kind of take it to the high there. Don't know why I did it to there. Again, he might say start here. I like to start at the low because I think that's where the first impulse began. And sometimes I don't take it to the high because there's always a wave 5 of those moves that can come a bit shorter than the pivot high. Okay. And then saying to the wave 3 there. Okay, so we've got a few things here that I can play with. I'm going to do it roughly for now. Well, that's nice. 1 to 193. You had a clean back test here and here. And then the price went through to my 91k mark. Up to the 21272. Yeah, these fibs are nice. They're not too bad. Get rid of those. Let's do two more extensions here. Maybe I should do it. Let me do it more accurately. I think it'll be, I have a lot more confidence if I do it a little bit more accurately to these kind of pivots. I'll use a magnet tool here to do that. So it's slightly different. Then I have to zoom in and see why. Am I using the right pivots? Is it actually to the top though? Let's have a look. Yeah. See, the top actually is better because of the alignment on the 1-to-1 here. So maybe that did end at the top here. Maybe that was the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The final 5. You kind of have to zoom in to see and try and count. So there 1 here, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For final 5. That's your final 5. Okay, maybe that's better. And I always use fib extensions to check with my Elliott waves, just to so when you do mark out your points, use extensions to check, because there should be continued alignment with the way the structure forms after the initial waves. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm using it to check right now. Gives you confidence about the levels, the pivots that you're using when you see that the 1-to-1 is being respected as an SR flip, when you see the price is actually respecting that. You see there and there. That's what you want to see. You want to see perfect respect. It gives you confidence, and then going up, it'll give you more confidence about the higher level. So here, a little bit of a front run there, didn't we? A little push through, but actually, when you're looking at these candle closes, look how it perfectly aligns. Fake out, then back test, it holds, it closes nicely. I like wicks as well in certain circumstances. I like it when the wick touches like that, but sometimes the close also can work too. So we've got that one, and then let's just kind of have a look at another one quickly. Two, three. No, let me do this one first. 1, 2, 2. Oh my god, my magnet tool. I need it precise, and that's why I don't always do it precise, because it takes so long to get the actual pivot. That's nice. The 618 lines up perfectly. The 1.618 at 115k. See that? Wow, that's pretty nice. So we have pretty strong confluence here at 115k. Based on the 2 to the 3 to the 4 for an extended move to the 618 at 115k. And then that aligns up with the 115k with 1.618, which is from the 0 to the 1 to the 2, gives us the 1.61. It gives a perfect alignment here at 115. You see that? 115k right there. Okay, that's what you want to see. You want to see perfect fib alignment on pivots on these Elliott wave moves. So as the price now wants to go up, I think 115k in price discovery is going to be strong resistance. Yeah, and we'll see. You'll see when it happens. When it happens, you go, oh shit, what happened? Well, you hit your perfect ratio on 2 different extensions based on the waves that have preceded the move. Okay, so that's kind of what I've got for now. The 0 to the 1 to the 2, the 2 to the 3 to the 4. We've got really nice confluence of fibs here at 115k. Now, how does that line up to my channels? Well, you see, the thing is, I'm doing another kind of just really straightforward analysis based on these price discovery channels. I've put them price discovery channels. Let me find them again there. Is that it? No, that's not it. That's it, horizontal channels. And we had a good reaction here. The next kind of horizontal channel high is 111k. And so this is the question for me. I think that's going to act as resistance as well. But this is obviously really big resistance. For me, this is more important. These alignments of fibs is more important than this range channel. It's a tricky one, though. It's a tricky one. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when we come to those areas. It might be possible that, let's say we go up, resistance, right back down like that. Like if you actually hit the resistance, you failed, and it's a failed auction of 111k. You could get that. Okay, you could totally get that. If the 4 ended here, then you could end up with an ABC correction going all the way back down to fill all of this. It's very possible. Okay, if that's your first wave, if we're in the first wave now, the corrective move can come all the way back to the beginning point, which is all the way back. You just have to put a higher low. And so there is every chance that we do revisit this wick. And based on this fib level, I think in this wick, if the price comes back down, so I'm not predicting the future, guys, but I'm just saying if we revisit this red wick, then I think we're gonna find support at this number here, 93.5K, 93,745, just based on this SR flip on this fib that we've experienced as a 1-to-1. We've wicked through it. If we do come back down, why not back test it for support? If it's now or later, doesn't matter when. And then going up, if we do kind of fake out this horizontal channel that I have at 111K, could we push up for a failed auction, finding actual resistance at 115K, which is true resistance because of the alignment of fibs that we have here, really powerful alignment of fibs at 115K. So these are some ideas that could play out, and then we don't know what this correction is going to, no one really knows, so I can't really say it's going to be a zigzag or whatever, but I do know that I wouldn't mind a test of 93.745. yeah, well, okay, I really wouldn't mind a test there. I wouldn't mind if we were able to fill halfway down this wick. Yeah, and so if you're looking for like real amazing long opportunities, then just bear in mind that that's a really good place. A little reaction there, and that would be a really good place to long. You could probably line up some other shit there and kind of get some confluence, some volume and stuff, whatever. I mean, I don't know, let's just have a look. I don't know, I mean, we'd have to kind of drill it down, maybe the golden pocket. You could kind of find some confluence there. It's a 786 of this move retracement. Yeah, so you've already got some kind of confluence there, 2 levels of confluence, potentially maybe a third, if and when we get back down there. But going up 115K, so just kind of mark that level as a bookmark. I wish I had my signals set up, because my trading signals, because I could have just connect it to Discord. I'm gonna have to do that. Altcoin dreaming. So let me just kind of make an alert. I'm gonna do this. I just haven't had the time, unfortunately. Big fib level resistance in price discovery. Approaching. Look for shorts. Take big profit. And I'll kind of front run it a little bit. I'll kind of bring it a little bit lower. So, because it might get front run. Okay. But probably not. Probably these fibs usually get hit to the dollar usually when you get these big fibs like that. And then obviously on the downside, on the downside, I want to put another alert here, just slightly ahead of it, and then I'll do exactly the same thing. That's going to be a good entry for a long. So approaching 1-to-1 long reaction. Test. And create a couple of alerts there. Good longs there, good shorts there, and we'll have to see how we get there. Okay, so that's kind of the range at the moment. And then based on his count, if we're in the 5, which, yeah, that sounds reasonable. I don't know how long it's going to last. I do wonder, I don't know, I wonder if we have, this is the one. Honestly, I don't know, but I wonder if we end this here. That being a 1. No, I don't know. I can't tell actually. Could that whole thing just be a 1? He's saying that's the 5 and that's it. Could it be the 1 of the 5? This whole thing, could it be the 1 of the 5? That's the only thing that I'm contemplating. And the invalidation for that idea would be to take this low here, this one here. So if we take the 52k low, then that idea diminishes. Otherwise, you could put a 5 wave impulse here. You could end up with a long correction here, whatever, and then you could still impulse and continue going, and then you'll be in a 3 of the 5, and then you'll be in the 5 of the 5. Okay, so there's lots of kind of ideas that are in play. Okay, but these levels are really important, just based on this kind of this fib extension that I've done. So if you want to mark them out, do. If not, just in Discord, when we approach, I'll probably say Taskin